What's up, guys? Today we have a couple bass drums brought to us by our friend Mr. Jay Weinberg. Let's get into it. Alright, so the main focus of this project is going to be mounting this Yamaha subkick along with the SM91 inside of each of these bass drums. To get it started, we are going to prep this subkick, take all the tension rods out, give it a look inside, make sure all of the connections look good, and then just give it a nice little wipe down. We're going to drop down into the bin to find a couple extra plates that we could put over those mount holes. This step isn't necessary, I just wanted those mounts out of the way to give us the maximum room inside of the bass drum to move around. And here we are all cleaned up. I have the left and right side set up opposite because on the bass drums, as you're going to see here in a bit, we're going to drill for the connections on the outsides of each bass drum. These here are the May connectors we're going to be using to plug in our internal microphones to an external source. To start that process, I just want to make a template here, essentially a stencil for where these brackets are going to go on the drum. That way we know basically what it's going to look like before I go and put holes in this thing. Now we're going to bust out the calipers to see how big our holes need to be. I know I could have easily Googled what 0.41 inches was in a fraction, but I was using my phone to record this, so we're just going to dust off our algebra skills so that we can get the correct drill bit size so we know how big these holes need to be, and we came up with 7/16 of an inch. So at this point we've taped off and marked where the edge of those lug casings are. I want these mounts to be as equally spaced as possible in the center of the drum. So we're marking off the middle line, and then we're going to put each mount about 2 inches from each other. Now that we are adequately caffeinated, we're going to break this thing down. To get these holes as clean as possible, we're going to use this step bit up into that 7/16 measurement, but first we need to drill a 3/16 pilot hole, and we're going to use this little boy to get our pilot hole going. Don't forget your safety glasses, and then I'm going to use this little wood punch to give us a nice little hole so that our initial drill bit doesn't slip around as we get in there. Now that we have our holes drilled, I'm going to feed these mounts through just to be sure that they're going to fit for when we install them later on. Based on my crude sketch here, you can see I did well in music class, but not art class. Regardless, this is my plan to make sure all of our mounts are going in the right place so that we can mount both of these inside. We're going to start by removing all of the original harnesses he had in here from his previous mic setup. And it was about the time I flipped this bass drum around, I realized a terrible truth. This bass drum had 8 lugs all the way around, whereas the previous drum I worked on and the ones I based my plans off of had 10 lugs. So we're going to scrap this idea and figure it out. Stay tuned for part 2, where my frustrations attempt to get the better of me.